What's going on, my hotshots? Today we will be doing a tier list video for Valorant patch 5.12. This is a little bit late, but I want to give myself time to play the patch so I can get this for you guys. This is just my opinion on how the meta is shaping out with this latest patch. This is the most balanced Valorant has ever been, in my opinion. There's like every agent's pretty much viable at this point, excluding a few, but we'll get into that in the video. If you guys are new around here, drop a sub. I'm trying to get to 5K subs, guys. That's my next goal. 5K subs we'll be doing giveaway. Just did my 3K sub giveaway. There's a few of you guys that still haven't responded that won the giveaway. I replied to your comment and shit if you won. Just double check the 3K giveaway video if you commented on it. Yeah, shout Ayan. Where you at, bro? Ayan, I know you're here. I love you, bro. I need to give you your points. But anyway, we're trying to hit 5K subs. That was my goal for this year. But as you guys know, my brother had an accident, so I didn't really upload for a month because I had to go see my brother for like a week, and then just I had a lot of mental health stuff. Like my brother literally ran through a fucking fire, bro, and he's got burns. He's fucked up for life now, but it's fucking cool, guys. Shit happens, guys. You just gotta push through, guys. That's all you can do, you know? But the goal for this year is to make this my full-time job. So remember, drop a sub. Trying to get 5K subs. I live stream and upload daily. I love you guys. Here we go. Alright, guys, we're gonna start off this video with the two most broken agents at the moment, in my opinion, is going to be KO and Fade. They're both like super strong. Fade with lineups is insane. KO is still just as strong as ever. I really like how they changed KO's like pop flash personally, because it makes it so he can flash more for the team instead of for himself, which makes him more of an initiator type person. Before he was more like a duelist, but now he's playing more like an initiator, which I really like. And then Fade, they nerfed her a little bit, but she's still just as strong as ever, especially with lineups. These two agents can be played on nearly every fucking map, which is pretty crazy. KO is really fucking annoying right now because like there's a lot of good fucking flash lineups. Alright guys, so I'm gonna pull up this clip from Tens, guys. This is some shit that is really fucking annoying right now. This is why I think KO is like the strongest agent in my opinion right now in the game. This is why he's top best tier. Watch this Tens clip right here, okay? Look at this flash right here. Isn't that fucking crazy, bro? Then he follows up with a pop flash. Look at that shit, bro. Like that shit's crazy. There's a lot of flash slams you do like that are just nuts, man. Like where it's just like kind of like where like you could just peek off of it, you know what I mean? And you're not blind, everyone else is blind. It's fucking nuts. And obviously Fade, she's a really good fucking initiator. She has her prowlers, her ult's insane for retaking. Same with KO ult for retaking. You can run both these agents in the same team comp, which is fucking nuts, you know? And then we're gonna have two more agents for S tier, guys. We're gonna have two more agents for S tier. So we're gonna have Jett, and then we're gonna have Raze. These agents can kind of like flop back and forth because like certain maps Jett's better, certain map Raze is better. You guys know what I'm talking about. Raze is obviously the strongest agent on bind and split, like duelist wise, in my opinion. Like Raze creates a lot of space. She can satchel. She denies area. She plays almost like an initiator duelist hybrid because of her boom bot, which is what I like. A lot of time on bind, I solo queue a lot. I'll just play Raze, even though we don't have an initiator, and just run it kind of like an initiator. You can clear anything with that boom bot, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty crazy. She has movement capabilities with her satchels, which is nice. She's just so strong, especially if you pair her with Fade with the suck and everything, bro. It's nuts, man. And then Jett's obviously really fucking strong right now because Chamber got a fat nerf, as you guys know. Jett is the primary opper right now in the game. Jett's also like crazy, like for entering, as you guys know, she creates so much space. She creates the most space, her and Neon. But I like Jett a lot because she's more viable. You can play around her smokes, which is what I like to do. Do a lot of big brain plays, as you guys know. And next up, guys, for A tier, we're gonna have Cypher. Cypher's gonna be top of A tier. The reason being is he's the only agent right now that can hold the flank. No other agent can really hold the flank. Like Killjoy and Chamber have a radius on their util, which sucks, bro. That's huge. So Cypher is just the meta right now, especially on Breeze. He's super strong on Breeze because the trips got increased the range, so you can do a bunch of nerdy trips and nerdy setups with Cypher. Camera gives you a lot of info. It's just insane the way Cypher has evolved now because they nerfed everyone else. Cypher is literally the only agent you should play on Haven, Sentinel-wise. Possibly Killjoy, but Killjoy gets countered by KO like crazy, and also Brimstone. So, I mean, it's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, you just gotta play Cypher, I feel like, now at this point. Cypher is so fucking strong right now. The only counter Cypher, really, is KO, honestly. And maybe Fade and Sova if they can get a good arrow, but like most of the time you're just tucked away in your camera, you know what I mean? So yeah. And then next up for A tier, we're gonna have Viper. Like Viper's still really strong. She's still better than Harbor. However, Harbor's actually really strong now because you can just keep whipping out smokes. That's what I noticed. You just keep smoking off the entrances and shit, which is crazy. We'll get to that later. But Viper right now, as you guys know, she's still really strong. They nerfed her ult a little bit, but it's still really strong. To be honest, I never really played outside of my ult that much. I know it affects a lot of people because a lot of people will just play around like outside the ult, but I always like to play in my ult just to be safe, you know. I'll go out of my ult occasionally, but it's really not that big of a nerf, to be honest. She has lineups. She can do a lot, like post plan, as you guys know. You can set up a lot of fakes and stuff. Icebox, she's really strong, you know what I mean? Like every map, she's pretty good, excluding Haven and Ascent. Speaking of Haven and Ascent, we're gonna have to put Mr. or I guess Miss Astra. There we go, sorry. Wrong gender, guys, excuse me. Wait, we're gonna put Astra next. I think Astra can get you a lot of value, especially if your team cooperates with comms. She's a hard agent to master. Once you master her, bro, her util is so annoying. She can pull the entrance when teams are executing, and it is so broken, bro. Like, teams still have to bait out that pull, otherwise you're just gonna get fucked when you execute. You can do a lot of like fakes and stuff with her stars, which is what I like. It's really strong if you run a double smoke comp right now with either Viper or Harbor. I really like just like Astra, as you guys know. She's one of my favorite agents. I love playing Astra. Like I said, if I were to ever join like a team, if I ever get good enough to like compete and like that sort of shit, I would probably play Astra just because I can get a lot of value out of Astra. Post plant, she's really strong for pulling. You can set up a lot of shit with executes with concusses as well. She's just really fun, really strong. And then next up, we're gonna put Brim top of A tier as well. Brim's really good on bind. Brim is the only smoker you should be running on bind, in my opinion. You could also possibly run a Viper or Harbor with Brim, but Brim is just like a must pick on bind. I know bind's getting removed here soon, but I mean, still in the game. Brim is still really strong on split as well when split gets re-added. He's got his molly. He's fucking amazing at delaying time. Stim beacon helps you guys get to shit fast. Stim beacon helps you get to rotates fast. You know what I mean? Like, Brim is just an all-around really good agent. If you're trying to grind and like just like get up in the rank solo queuing, I think you should play smokes personally. That's just my opinion. Unless your duelists are entering, but if you got like decent duelists, you know, it's pretty easy to play smokes because you just delay and sit in the back and chill, you know what I mean? Brim can smoke one ways, really strong one ways. His ult is really good for hitting executes, you know, you just do your standard alt U-haul really fast, you know what I mean? Execute off that, or you're like alt gen or alt dice on A side on Ascent, and then you just execute off that. It's really crazy how good Brim is, man. And then next up for A tier, guys, we're gonna put Sage, guys. Sage got like a really weird like buff slash nerf. I think she got buffed personally because she can't self heal, so she can't really be a battle stage anymore. But she heals instantly to your teammates, which I think is huge. Because when you play Sage, I think you should be playing for the team with your wall and everything to like help out the team and delay stuff. But now she can just heal teammates like instantly. So it's really strong if you have Sage with Skye right now. I noticed because you have your Skye heal Sage, and then your Sage just heals everyone else. It's fucking crazy because everyone just gets instantly healed. Like, you have heals permanently. Especially on a map like Bind or Pearl, where it's like Raze dominant and KO dominant, where there's just a lot of chip damage. Also, there's a lot of Vipers being played on those maps, so there's a lot of chip damage happening. So like you can just keep healing, you know what I mean? So it's really strong. Sage's res is obviously really good. You can bait the res. She's got slow. She can delay everything. You can also wall the flank. I'll do that occasionally sometimes if I notice like they're flanking a lot. Like, I'll just wall the flank. Something I've been implementing more in my game. I've been playing a lot of Sage lately. She's just, I don't know. I like the changes a lot. It helps your team. I like playing characters that help your team. I'm not really big into like playing like the duelist and entry type role, but I sometimes you have to. Like if you're like really struggling and you're like dropping really hard, just switch to duelist, you know. All right, guys, we're gonna put one more agent for A tier. It's gonna be Sova. You can get a lot of value out of Sova on Haven, but the main reason is Sova is the #1 initiator on Breeze, in my opinion, just because it's such an open map. Open maps generally favor towards Sova. That's why he's really strong on Haven and he's really strong on Breeze. He can also be played on Ascent, but I just feel like you should probably rock Fade or KO on Ascent, in my opinion. But you can still rock Sova. Shock darts are still really strong. You can ult Killjoy's ult, which is really huge. Like, you can counter her ult. Because Killjoy is played a lot right now on Haven and also a lot on Ascent. And so Sova is really strong at countering her. Sova, I think, is probably the best initiator on Icebox as well. So that's why he's on A tier. But he's just not as annoying and he doesn't get as much value as I think KO and Fade. His drone's really strong. Like, I love his drone. But the thing I've been noticing with droning with Sova now is like a lot of people will spam Raze nades or KO nades like at your typical spots, which is pretty annoying and gets you off of it, or they'll just knife you. So you gotta kind of drone in like weird spots now with the way like KO is shaping the meta, you know what I mean? Just like Sova, just being able to like get a lot of control early on in the round is very huge. Like on Bind, or not Bind, on Icebox, just arrowing close is like really, really strong. It really stops those annoying ass duelists slash chambers from entering, or not entering, from just peeking right away, you know what I mean? All right, now we're gonna go B tier, guys. I think Omen's top of B tier. You could honestly have Omen on A tier, switch him with Astra, but personally I like Astra more. I feel like I can get a lot more value. Omen's a lot more self-sufficient because he has a lot more movement capabilities. He can TP and get out, you know, from those sticky situations. He also has a flash. Omen's probably better for solo queuing if your team's not cooperating, because Omen is like very viable. I just think Omen's ult is really weak. They need to do something to Omen's ult to change it, because the only thing really his ult's good for is like fast rotating when like you realize your team is fucked because they over rotated, especially on Haven, or just getting the spike when the spike's down. You guys know what I'm talking about. Spike's down, you TP on top of the spike and you go to the opposite site. That's really strong. Other than that, I just feel like Omen's kind of weak right now, to be honest. You can get value out of him. There's nothing wrong with Omen. Like I said, this is the most balanced the game's been, so this is just kind of like all from my perspective. Omen's still really strong, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like you can get more value from other agents. Next up for B tier, we're going to have Breach. Breach is really strong still, but he's just getting outclassed by every other initiator, I feel like, at this point, excluding Skye. Breach is really strong on Fracture still, but people are starting to figure out how to counter the Breach, because almost every Breach is going to stun right away, so now you just wait for the stun, or you just play a weird angle, then you repeat, especially if you're playing like Jett or Chamber, where you can just take those aggro angles and create that space. I think Breach needs like an extra flash or something, just because I don't know, he just, like, flashing is a big part of his kit, and it's just like, I feel like he needs another flash or something, because there's really nothing that sets them apart from KO, you know what I mean? I feel like KO is just better. KO has the best flash in the game right now. Breach's ult is really good, creates a lot of space, as you guys know. Especially when Split comes back, Breach is going to be really strong, because Breach was already really strong on Split, and I mean, they're not really changing a whole lot on Split, to be honest. So Breach will still be used quite a bit. Next up for B tier, we're going to have Neon. Neon creates the most space, period. However, it is a risky entry whenever you enter with Neon, just due to the fact that you're by your fucking self most of the time. And you need to have a lot of teamwork and cooperation in order to entry with Neon, because you don't have flashes. You have a god tier stun. There are good stun lineups and shit. You have the best movement in the game, hands down. However, like I said, it is just super hard to entry by yourself with Neon. That's why I think Jett's stronger right now, like entry-wise, just because Jett has smokes. She can play around her smokes. Neon has a giant wall, but you can kind of fuck your team over if you're like by yourself and you throw a bad wall. You have to like throw the wall like precisely, otherwise you're just gonna fuck everyone over. Neon's ult is insane. Like, she can literally single-handedly win you an eco round. Neon's really good. It's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a risky play. And you have to have a lot of cooperation. Otherwise, it's just kind of like throwing, you know? Next up for B tier, we're going to have Skye. There is nothing wrong with Skye right now. I don't like how they changed her pop flash. I think she should be able to pop flash faster, personally. But other than that, there's nothing wrong with Skye. The only thing is, she is getting outclassed by every other initiator right now. That's the only issue, but you can still get good value out of her. Flashes are good. You can set up your team up with flashes, especially on bind. A lot of people and a lot of like pro teams and shit will flash over the truck on bind on A site and then have someone pushed out of U-Haul after they U-Haul control and attack. That's really strong right now. She's really good on bind, obviously. That's probably her best map, and she's still really good on breeze, but you need to have Sova with her, I feel like, in order to get value on breeze. Holy shit, my cats are fighting, bro. Did you guys hear that? Jesus Christ. Her heal, like I said, is really strong, especially if you play with her with Sage, like on like bind. You can just constantly hear your teammates when there's a lot of like maps where there's a lot of chip damages where she really strives. Her dog gives you a lot of info and shit. However, her dog's vision isn't as good as like a Sova drone, you know what I mean? And then a Fade also has like 2 of her dogs essentially. So I feel like Fade's kind of stronger in that aspect. There is nothing wrong with Skye. She's just getting outclassed. That's it. Next up for B tier, guys, we're gonna put phoniex. Phoniex is really good right now. It's just kind of like, I feel like there's better agents right now. KO is literally phoniex on steroids, in my opinion. They literally do almost the exact same thing. The ults are pretty much the same, except for KO can get revived, and KO can like detain abilities. They both have a molly. They both have a flash. I feel like KO's flash is a million times better than phoenix's flash. Phoniex really shines on Haven. It's just the way like the map's set up, and you can molly a lot of cubbies and shit. There's a lot of good lines with him. He's good on Ascent as well. He's also really good on Pearl. Like I said, it's just kind of like, I don't know, I just feel like KO's kind of better, a better version of Phoniex still. I do like the changes to Phoenix's wall though, how it does a lot more damage, which I think is really good, because I sometimes will just throw my wall, and like if I know someone's like cubby and I don't have a molly, I'll just throw my wall and like chip damage him, like chip damage the person a lot, you know what I mean? It's really hard to push through a Phoenix wall now. I tried pushing through a Phoenix wall on Pearl the other day on my stream, and I got fucked up. Like, I lost like almost all my health like instantly, especially because it was comboed with a Viper molly, and like I came out of it, I was just literally one hit. All right, and for top of C tier, we're gonna put Harbor. I really like how they added another another like wall with Harbor, but I think it needs to slow more or something, because he's kind of fucked when there's a push. There's really nothing you can do on defense with Harbor except for play for a retake, and then just throw your wall and defuse like that, or throw your like little like smoke cloud that has the shield and defuse. That's all you can really do with Harbor right now on defense. They need some way to help Harbor on defense. You got to think Astra has a pool, Viper has a molly, Omen has a flash, Brim has a molly. He has nothing to help when there's a fast push. He's just fucked. So they need to do something with that. But I like how like you can just keep fucking smoking and smoking and smoking and smoking and smoking and smoking with Harbor. Like you can just keep smoking shit, which is fucking sick. Like I think that's how you need to play. You just keep throwing smoke, smoking off the entrances, especially on Breeze. I really like playing Harbor on Breeze today, even though I played like shit on my game on Breeze. I just kept smoking literally everything off. They could not, like, they had to use a flash in order to peek or just dry peek out my smokes, because I just kept smoking everything off. Yeah, phoniex is really good. No problems with phoniex. It's just kind of like, there's, like I said, Kale is just kind of like a stronger phoniex. I think Harbor has the best ult in the game, personally. But like I said, it's just kind of like he can't play defense. Attack, he's really good. Especially on, like I said, Breeze, he can plant really well. I love Harbor on Fracture. I love just throwing that shit like in the open on A site and just planting, so that your whole team can play anywhere. They can play outside the door, they can play drop, they can play main if you plant open with him. He's also really strong on Icebox, especially because you can use him like a Sage essentially, where you just throw your shield and just plant. You know what I mean? So it's really good. He has a lot of potential, but he still needs a slight buff. Next up for C tier, we're gonna put Yoru. I honestly don't think Yoru is that bad. Yoru, you can get a lot of value out of Yoru. You can do a lot of fakes and shit. You just have to be able to master Yoru. It's like the same thing with Astra. And you can like coordinate a lot of stuff with Yoru, especially when you're in your ult. You can have a really good entry. You get yourself a lot of info in his ult. That's what I love about his ult. Yoru is really strong in the right hands, but you can say that with any agent, but especially Yoru. When you play against a god Yoru, it is just the most frustrating thing on earth, because it's just like you don't know what's happening. You don't know who to shoot, what to shoot. He'll just appear randomly. Yoru is really good at lurking. I love lurking with Yoru, or just like faking something with Yoru. I love doing that, like faking and execute and then just TPing back and just bamboozling the team. I love that shit. Yoru is great just to catch your enemies off guard. Yoru is really strong on bind because of the teleporter. I love just doing random bullshit in the teleporter. It's fucking fantastic. But I think like I just think he's getting kind of outclassed. It's the same thing. He's still good, but you can get value out of him, but he's just getting outclassed. Next for C tier, we're gonna put Killjoy. The only issue with Killjoy is her ult. I know they buffed it, but it can still get taken out by like Breach's abilities, KO's abilities, and especially because KO's on like every fucking map. Raze, he can get countered. Sova can counter with ult. You know what I mean? Brim can counter with ult. There's a lot of counters to Killjoy's util right now. Plus, she has that radius, which is super fucking annoying. It's super hard to hold the flank with Killjoy because you have to be like inside your fucking util just to hold the flank. But you can get a lot of value. Killjoy's post plants are still insane. It's really easy to lurk with Killjoy still, but like I said, you still will get timing a lot of the time, or people will smoke off your util, which is really fucking frustrating, which is why Cypher, I think, just reigns supreme right now. But on Icebox, Killjoy shines on Icebox. I think we're gonna see like an Icebox meta with Killjoy right now, just because her turn is so fucking strong for holding the flank on that map. And then for D tier, we're gonna put Chamber. I mean, not much to say. They killed my boy. They killed him, man. But no, it's nice because I was tired of having Chamber top of the top. You can still get good value out of Chamber. I'll play Chamber occasionally. I really like Chamber on bind still, believe it or not. But I mean, it's just like, it's hard to get value out of Chamber now because you have to be like fucking so close to your trip. Not to mention the trip, it's just not as strong anymore. I do like the TPs. You can do a lot of shit with this TP now that they changed it. I like the change to his TP. He doesn't play like a duelist anymore, which I love. He plays like a sentinel, but they just killed him, man. They killed my boy. Love they killed him, though, because I was tired of playing against him. Jett is a better opper now at this point, in my opinion. So, yeah, there's that. And last is Reyna. You can get a lot of value out of Reyna still. However, if you don't get kills, you're useless. You guys know this. 3 out of 4 abilities require kills. And if you don't break even or go above even, in my opinion, you're useless with Reyna because you're not using your util. But if you're fucking feeling it, there's no agent better than Reyna. No agent better than Reyna in the world if you're feeling it. I think double duelist comps are going to start to come back. I really do. And honestly, Reyna's a really good pick for double duelist because you can just have her play aggressive and just do random bullshit, which is what I love with Reyna. Now, guys, this is my tier list. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Tell me if I'm right, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm fucking right, because I'm always right. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. We're trying to hit 5K subs by the end of the year. I don't think we will, but you never fucking know with how this algorithm bullshit works. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys for making my dream a reality. Have a great day. Adios.